It's the best football show. I'm Brian Baldinger. I'm here almost every day, just giving you what I see from my film room here on the third floor of NFL Films. I'm Brian Baldinger at Baldy NFL. Come look for me on all the social media platforms, whether it's X or Instagram or YouTube. You name it, I'm out there on NFL Network all week long as well. And this is something you can get for free right here on your free Odyssey app. You can download it, like it, subscribe to it, tell your friends about it. I love that you would follow and will continue to follow me. Anyways, it is Tuesday morning here, I guess September 10th, and I've just finished watching the Monday Night Football game, the Jets and 49ers, and it was a beatdown. It was a beatdown. I think people might have thought with Christian McCaffrey out of action and Jordan Mason making a first start that maybe the Jets would have a chance, but that really never took place. I mean, the 49ers dominated this game every way that you could dominate a game. And it comes down to coaching, it comes down to personnel. And the thing that was interesting to me for the 49ers, and a credit to them, is Trent Williams missed all of the offseason and all of training camp. And he played the first 65 snaps last night, and he was awesome. And then Brandon Ayuk was very similar. I mean, he basically missed all the offseason, all the camp, all of that, and he didn't miss a beat. And then they're playing a rookie right guard in there, Dominic Pooney, and he might have been as good as any offensive lineman that played all night long. He didn't make a mistake. He didn't have a penalty. He was basically flawless in his performance. And then you look at the Jets, and, they dropped their first third down throw, a stick route from Aaron Rodgers to Allen Lazard. These guys have been playing together, I don't know, 5-6 years now, at least. He drops a third down stick route, so they punt. The next series, they throw a screen to Breece Hall. Fred Warner punches it out. Fumble recovered by the 49ers. It looked ugly. It wasn't crisp. It wasn't sharp. And the Jets defense hung in there for a while, but you realize they're not as good as you think. They need Hassan Reddick. They don't have three great rushers. They have two good ones, Quentin Williams and Jermaine Johnson, but they need a third, and they don't have a third. And so that shows up throughout the night. Okay, so that's all that. But ultimately, you look at Jordan Mason goes last night, he goes 28 carries for 147 yards for a touchdown. And you go, how'd they do that? You watch Kyle Shanahan design offense. There's a motion and a shift every play. And there's a purpose behind every motion and every shift. And it's against what the anticipated fronts and coverages are going to be. It's so well thought out. And then it's orchestrated even better. I mean, the 49ers have a pom-pom team cheerleader squad. They're called the Gold Rush. They look like the Gold Rush blocking. They stretch the defense. They move the defense. They open the holes. And Jordan Mason was really good. I mean, he gets yards after contact every time he touches it. He is a powerful man. But it is very, very well scripted. And they ran through the Jets defense. And then Brock Purdy was what we have seen from Brock Purdy. He wasn't perfect, but he was really good. He created on his own. He made all the throws they needed to make. It was, they could have scored more points than they did, I guess. They didn't really have to. They were in control of the game throughout. Anyways, I mean, they kicked all these field goals. They kicked 6 field goals last night. All right. If you put touchdowns instead of field goals out there, I mean, it's really a blowout. For Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, look, Aaron made some good throws to Garrett Wilson on the opening drive, to Allen Lazard on the touchdown, a couple third quarter throws. It was good. But the Jets' offensive line, so much talked about. You got John Simpson and Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses and a healthy Ali Vera Tucker and Joe Tippmann, and they were not good. They weren't good up front. Breece Hall, outside of one run the whole night, where they got real movement at the point of attack, he looked like a pedestrian back. There wasn't any place to go. The inside tackles of the 49ers, Javon Hargrave, Malik Collins, they ate their blocks up. Like there was confusion. There's confusion amongst the conversation about where to go. I mean, it wasn't crisp. And so what it comes down to is one team looked extremely well coached, and that's Kyle Shanahan and his staff, and Nick Sorensen, the new defensive coordinator. And then there was the Jets, who looked uneven throughout the game, couldn't stop the run at all, and couldn't really flush the quarterback and turn him into any kind of mistakes. Aaron Rodgers was good, but he wasn't great. He just wasn't. I mean, he missed a couple of throws, and one that was intercepted, he was a little bit behind the target to Garrett Wilson. And, the hand got in there and tipped it, and Foles recovered it, turned it into points. The other thing is the 49ers, after the first 2 3-and-outs, they scored on 8 straight drives. 8 straight drives they scored. Like, that's an efficient, well-oiled machine. The Jets, now look, it's one game, not going to go crazy. You shouldn't go crazy. Tennessee next week, certainly beatable team. It can all change around. I mean, one thing that you could say about the Jets is, look, if you're just 3-and-out, turnover, fumble, interception, if you're just doing that, you're never, ever going to get into a rhythm. You're never going to allow your offensive line to get crisp and sharp against a good, talented defensive front. And so, maybe they can do that next week against Tennessee, who played really good against Chicago last week. The front was really good. The next game I want to talk about is the game that I was at. I was in Indianapolis, national radio, announcing the Colts and the Texans. And while CJ Stroud was awesome, but on the other side, Anthony Richardson. I mean, you talk about talent, dripping with talent. I mean, he's Aaron Judge at the plate in a football uniform. You don't know what you're going to get. 8th play of the game, he drops back. He slips. His feet slip. He's off balance, and he launches a rocket 60 yards. A perfect throw against bracket coverage between Derek Stingley Jr. and Jimmy Ward to Alec Pierce. You can't throw it any better. Opening touchdown season. He hit 3 big 50-plus yard pass plays in the game. Another one to Pierce late in the game. Another one to Ashton Doolin for a 57-yard touchdown. I mean, he kept him single-handedly in the game. Now, he also threw a red zone interception. All right, he sailed it. It happens. Took points off the board. He missed 2 go routes to A.D. Mitchell and who's going to be a great player. And they need a guy on the outside that can truly win one-on-ones, that can double move you, that can run by you, that's got a skill set. And Reggie Wayne, the wide receiver coach of the Colts, says to me that A.D. Mitchell is going to be a stud. And he won a couple of deep routes. Anthony Richardson missed him on the deep throws. It could have been touchdowns. It could have been the difference in the game. So it wasn't perfect, but the talent is unreal. I mean, the arm strength, pretty good short intermediate accuracy, pretty good decision making, and just a beast when the ball's in his hands. Scored that last touchdown to cut the lead, just ran over the Texans to get in the end zone. The way we see Josh Allen do it, the way we saw, a lot of quarterbacks, Cam Newton in his day, all those guys could do that. He can do the same thing. So I'm a big believer in Anthony Richardson. And when they get A.D. Mitchell going on the outside and they start connecting on a couple of deep routes, this run game has a chance to really take off and be special. And they could be a very dangerous team. But that was a great game. Anybody that watched that, that was a great game. And then, the Bears offense really struggled. I didn't think the game plan was good. Caleb wasn't good. The offense line got taken apart by Tennessee's front. So it came down to defense. And boy, did the defense step up. I mean, it's a good defense. They fly to the football. Their secondary, when you look at Tyreek Stevenson, Jalen Jones, and what they have, Brisker and, all the guys that they have now, it's a good, and you look at the TJ Edwards and you look at TJ and their linebackers. They're really good. They got an interception to finish the game. They got Will Levis to get flushed out of the pocket And I don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to throw the ball away, and Tyreek Stevenson took it to the house. And then, they blocked a punt for a touchdown. Daniel Hardy, a backup defensive lineman, has never played in this league. Special team guy, blocks the punt. Simone Biles' husband goes and recovers it, and they get a score there. I mean, they use special teams and defensive touchdowns to win that game. It was a real credit. Will Levis was good. He made some good throws, did some good things. Touchdown throw to the tight end was awesome. He didn't do enough. Tony Pollard made some good runs. J.C. Latham, Peter Skronsky, pretty good left side. They can move big bodies. They're an improved football team. Let's just say that. They're improved. Now, they've got to eliminate the mistakes, and they're going to be fine. And then finally, I was just watching Seattle and Denver. And I saw something I've never seen before. I mean, Seattle was trying to come out of their own end zone twice, and Denver caught them for two safeties. They got Bradford for a hold in the end zone on DJ Jones, and that was a holding in the end zone is an automatic safety. And then they got Zach Allen beating the left guard into the backfield and taking down Zach Charbonnet for a safety. And then a couple plays later, they tried to screen it to Kenneth Walker out of the backfield, and he bobbled the ball. And while he was bobbling it, the Denver defense just annihilated him. And it looked to me like it was a third safety in the first half. Now, they called, forward progress, whatever, got the ball inside the one. Looked like a third safety to me. And the other thing in that game was it was a terrific matchup between DK Metcalf and Patrick Surtain. Like, they went at it one-on-one. I mean, they both got big, fat contracts. They're both talented guys. They're both cornerback number one, wide receiver number one. But it was a real battle to watch. That was a fun one. You get a chance to go back and watch that game. Watch those two go at it all game long. They don't like each other. They know each other, I'm sure. They probably respect one another. They both chirp at each other. They're both amongst the best at what they do in this business. And it was a good matchup, and it was fun to watch. All right, that's been the best football show today. There'll be a lot more to come as I get into other games. There's still some games I need to get to, some sides of the ball I still want to break down. So there's a lot more content coming at you this week before we start looking ahead to week 2 and Thursday night's matchup. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me on the Best Football Show.